Jnana Yoga in this so far. There we have only, we do not have a choice because one thing leads to the other. Only Karma Yoga, you have to unnecessarily go through it, ensure Chitta Suddhi, then get into Jnana Yoga. So there, now we had seen that in the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, if you remember, from 12th to 25th verse, Lord has talked about the beginning of his teachings. He is talking about our real self or our higher self. What is that he has talked about there? He said it is ekam. It is only one. It is all pervading. It is eternal. And then it is nirbhikaraha. There is no change. Then it is akarta and avokta. And it is aprameya. It is not easily comprehensible. You cannot have it, you cannot perceive it through your sense organs. But is it unknown? No, it is more than known. So now the question is, how this akarta thing is coming into picture? That is what we have to be very carefully noted, because that is what is also being taught in this particular chapter. So when we look at our own self, what we have, we are consisting of. Anyone? Any one of you? What exactly, when we say I, what I mean?
Because when would be
yes,
ahankar, I mean ego, body, mind, and chit.
Yeah. So body, mind, ego, and chit, that is mind. Otherwise, aim with capital is mind. Mind has four aspects: mind, intellect, ego, and chitta, memory. So these are the only mind. Are you telling that when I say I, it means this?
There
Anybody
is
else?
higher I and a lower I.
So first you say that when we say I, the lower I, correct? When I'm saying I'm Ajay, you are Anjuma, is Deepak Baba. So what we mean by I?
Either, Baba, the senses of perception or organs of action, mind, the koshas, that's what our identity in the lower eye is usually based on.
Okay. So physical body. The first thing is that we have to the physical body. When I say I mean myself. When Deepak Baba is saying I, he is meaning his body. Correct? So the first identification goes with the body. So body, then mind, then what else?
Intellect.
Intellect is a part of the mind. So mind, intellect, ego, and chitta, memory. So you have a physical body, you have a mind. Then what else?
Ego.
Oh, ego is part of the mind. Then what happens? Because body and mind, because once you are dead, body is there. But what is the difference then? You have
consciousness,
soul,
consciousness,
reflected consciousness. Okay, reflected consciousness. Because the very words, be careful. So body, mind, reflected consciousness, and the consciousness. Because when we are looking at this moonlight, we know moon doesn't have a light. So it is reflecting sunlight. So when we are looking at the moonlight, we can say, okay, now, okay, whatever I'm seeing the world, I'm seeing the moon, I'm seeing the reflected light also of the sun. But sun is there, because otherwise without sun, the reflection of the sunlight will not happen. So when we say I, the lower I is body, mind, reflected consciousness, and consciousness. Four things. Is it clear? Deepak Baba, you have any doubt?
No, but it's perfect though.
Perfect. So remember this. Now, next time, don't make a mistake. Body, then mind,
Mind.
then
Reflected consciousness.
reflected consciousness, then the consciousness itself.
Yeah.
Because in day-to-day basis also, why you need to have mention consciousness? Because when you are going into deep sleep, try to understand. Reflected conscious, where consciousness is reflected, which aspect of mind the consciousness gets reflected? Come on. Where consciousness
Ego.
get reflected? Huh?
Ego or
Mind.
Anju, I'll break your head. Where consciousness is reflected?
in
Intellect.
deep sleep, it is not.
Intellect.
Intellect. Yes, intellect.
Consciousness is reflected in the intellect. And then the moment it's intellect, it reflects, then our ego says I. So he is meaning what? He is meaning body, his mind. So reflected consciousness goes into the intellect. Intellect is part of the mind. So when we go into deep sleep, try to understand. The mind is also resolved. There is no mind there. So there is no reflective consciousness there. Then we are not dead. We are alive. Then how we are alive there? Because it is consciousness itself. So when we say I, it is body, mind, reflected consciousness, and consciousness. Is it clear?
Yes, Baba.
Okay. Now, another thing you remember, because as far as Advaita is concerned, Vedanta is concerned, when we go into deep sleep, there is no mind, because mind is resolved. But if you go into Patanjali's Yoga Sutra, when he is defining vrittis, he is listing out what are the can be the vrittis. There he also includes deep sleep as also as one of the vrittis. That means what he is saying that if we go by Patanjali, that means the mind is also there in a very subtle and in a very tattvic mind is still there. Otherwise, the vritti, where from vritti will come? Vritti will only come in the mind. It cannot come in the body. Consciousness can never have vrittis. So where it will have the vritti? Vritti, that means mind. So as far as Patanjali is concerned. But as far as Vedanta is concerned, as far as deep sleep is concerned, the mind is totally resolved. So there is no individuality there. Because in each of the intellect, when the reflected consciousness is there and the ego says I, so there is an individuality, each one. Like Ajay Naik is separate, Anjuma is separate, Deepak Baba is separate, Nehama is separate, Santosh Baba is separate, everybody is separate. But when you go to the deep sleep, there is no separate identity there. Because there is no reflected consciousness, there is no mind is resolved. So what is the only consciousness is there. So this is the difference. So now, yes.
Just small doubt. So in samadhi or deep meditation, the reflected consciousness is in the form of consciousness itself. I mean, there is a difference, right? Deep sleep still has vritti, but in samadhi or meditation, we don't.
It's a beautiful point you raised. I wanted not to raise in this one, but you have got it. Okay. In case of deep sleep, what is happening there? Because mind is totally resolved, so we have no awareness our own existence, and it is existence of each one. That is the consciousness only is present. but it is not unable to identify I-ness in there because there is no individuality there. So because there is no individuality is there, consciousness is all pervading, only ekam that is available. But in case of when you go to Nirvikalpa Samadhi, it is also the same state because your mind is resolved. Because Chitta Vritti Nirodha is yoga. There is no Vritti. And then Sutra 3 says, Tadadrashtu Swarupe Avasthanam. You are established in your true self. That means, what is your true self? Your true self is consciousness, awareness itself. So when you are consciously going there, so it reveals to you that you are this Brahman, that is revealed to you. But in case of deep sleep, this awareness is not there. Awareness as it there, but at the individual awareness is totally lost. Okay, it may not be clear now. How many of you seriously can you open up your videos to your faces? Then let's understand this. Another aspect I wanted to discuss with you, but I want to see your face that I understand that you are listening and you are trying to understand it. Yeah. Try to understand this. So whenever you are seeing something, okay, whenever you are seeing something, that means if I'm looking, now I'm looking at our TV set. So there is a vritti of the TV set in my mind. Okay? It is called vritti bhakti. Remember these words or write it down because it will help us in understanding. It's called vritti bhakti. Okay? And I am looking at the tree. So there is a vritti of tree in my mind. It's a vritti bhakti. I'm looking at here now, looking at all of you. So that is a vritti that I am able to see you, vritti of seeing all of you. Okay, this is called vritti bhakti. But this, I see it, but there is something which inside me which recognizes it. So that is awareness, that is the reflected consciousness. So because of, if you are not aware of it, even if you are looking at a thing, you may not also, you looking at TV, you do not know. Somebody asks what you are watching. You said, I don't know. I've lost sight of. Wow. Because the awareness is not behind your seeing. So that means that reflected consciousness is directed to that particular vritti bhakti. That is called Brahma bhakti. Jnana bhakti. That means that consciousness is also there is focused on that particular point of your contact. Wherever vritti bhakti is there is Brahma bhakti is also there. That means you are able to recognize it. So you need to know certain things. You need to have that vritti bhakti and phala bhakti. That word, my wife, I was struggling for that. That is called phala bhakti. So both vritti bhaktis should be there in your mind. Then this reflected consciousness also, phala bhakti has to be there. So then it is connected. So I'm looking at the TV, I'm seeing the TV. I'm looking at the tree, I'm seeing the tree. Okay. But when you go into Nirvikalpaka Samadhi, just try to understand that. I want to go into Nirvikalpaka Samadhi. That is a vritti in my mind. So vritti bhakti will be there. Okay. This is clear. I'm looking at the TV vritti is there. I'm looking at the you vritti is there. I'm looking at a table vritti is there in my mind. And phala bhakti also there, that become it enables you to recognize. But when you are going into Nirvikalpaka Samadhi, that I want to get into Nirvikalpaka Samadhi, that vritti is there. But then what is Brahman there? Just imagine, Brahman is like sun. When I'm looking at the TV, that sunlight is reflected in my intellect and that is directed towards the TV. Are you getting it? That follow Vyapti. One is TV vritti is there in my mind. But when I'm recognizing TV, what is happening? Just imagine Brahman is like sun. So that ray comes to my intellect and is reflected to where? To the TV. That is called phala vyapti. So in my mind, there is a vritti vyapti, and that awareness makes it available for me through phala vyapti. So vritti vyapti and phala vyapti is there. Is it clear now? Is it or not yet clear? Yes or no? Yes. Yes, Prasad.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. Now, when you are looking at Brahman, that means you are looking at the sun itself, correct? So now the desire in myself to look at the sun, that is the sun vritti is there. But phala vyapti is not there because you are looking at the sun itself. So you do not want your mirror or my intellect to reflect that sunlight into sun, to see sun. Are you getting it? If I looking at it, I direct the sunlight through a mirror into my kitchen. But if I want to see the sun itself, what you will do? You will reflect the sunlight into the sun. Are you getting it? So phala vyapti is not there. In case of Nirvikapaka Samadhi. But vritti is there. Nirvikapaka Samadhi vritti is there. But phala vyapti is not there. So you are established because you don't need a reflected consciousness to see or to observe or to be established in the consciousness itself. Because you are going directly there. But when you are going into deep sleep, what is happening? The vritti itself is not there. Because the mind is not there, the vritti is not there at all. So what awareness will reveal it? So that's why we say, when you go to deep sleep, why you are unable to know is because ajnana is there. Because there is no vritti is there. There is no desire to see there because his mind is not there. But, as I said, as far as if you are going to Patanjali's Yoga Sutra, there he is saying that deep sleep is also a vritti. But mind is in a subtle, so much, like sattvic mode is there. So it is almost like no vritti. So that's why in deep sleep, when you get up only, then you have a feeling that you had a deep sleep, but you do not recognize when you are in deep sleep. Why? Because individuality is not there. The mind is not there. Individual mind is not there. There is no reflected consciousness. So that's why that same it is called you are in ajnana. Why we are not able to know? Because you are in ajnana. That means there is no jnana. And when you go into nirvikapa samadhi, when you get into self-realization happens. So what is happening? Because you are established in your true self. That is that Brahman itself, that awareness itself, that sun itself, you are established. So you don't need a mind or a reflected sun again in the mind to see the sun, because it reveals by itself. You're consciously going there and just letting go your mind. So it is there you are established. That's why it says Swarupe Avasthanam. He's not saying that you will be able to see the consciousness. He's not saying you will be able to perceive the consciousness. He's not saying you will be know what is consciousness. He's saying Swarupe Avasthanam. Because that's your true self. So you have now known who you really are. Just imagine another way. The rope was there in the dark. So you saw it as snake. You got afraid. Okay. Somebody said, hey, no, it was not a snake. I saw it was a, mala. This mala from the Lord, it has come, somebody has thrown it. So it was a mala. Somebody saw it as a mala, garland. Somebody saw it as a snake. And then another third person, he saw there's a earthquake was there, there's a gap in that, on the surface. So now you cannot deny the experience that somebody saw a snake because he saw it. Somebody did saw the garland. Somebody saw there is a gap in the surface. And we know that it was only a rope. So how many things are there? Are there 4 things or how many things are there? Are you getting my question or you have not got my question? Yes. If you ask,
Only
you
one,
talk with
Baba.
me then. Huh? Because reality was a rope. Are you getting it? Rope was there. Okay? Deepak Baba
Things are
went.
many.
Deepak Baba went and came back. He said, there is a snake there. Santosh Baba comes back. He said, it's a garland. And Hemant Baba said, no, there is a gap in the floor itself. It's broken. But you cannot deny that Deepak Baba saw a snake because he saw it and he was scared. Santosh Baba saw that is a garland. And Hemant Baba saw there is a gap in the surface. So how many things are there now?
2 things, Baba.
4 things are
Things
there.
are many. Yeah.
Huh?
Baba, things, item is one, but seen like many.
Now, how many things are there?
Yeah, one
If you say
reality.
in
but
reality,
One.
reality is one.
Yeah.
But when you are seeing, you are experiencing 3 different things.
Yeah.
Similarly, when you look at this world, so many things we see. But what is the reality? Reality is
One.
only Brahman.
One.
The reality is gold. Ornaments can be many. So I saw a bangle, I saw a ring, I saw a necklace. So how many things you saw? You experienced 3 things, definitely. But what exactly you saw is only gold. What is the reality? Reality is one, gold. Now, are you getting it now here? So when you saw a snake, that's a vritti. Vritti Vyapti was there. Then Phala Vyapti was there because consciousness just showed it to him that it looks like a snake. Similarly, now our reflected consciousness through my sense organs are showing so many things in this world. Like you see garland, you see the snake, you see the gap. Similarly, you see the table, you see the TV, you saw the building. They're real. They look real. They feel real. Everything is real. But you know, deep in your heart, that because they have borrowed from existence. Because if you take away existence and awareness, they will not be there. So when you go to Swarupa Avasthanam, at that time, what is happening? Because you are only seeing Brahman, not seeing, you are only experiencing Brahman only. The snake goes away, the garland goes away, the crack goes away. Are you getting it? In case of self-realization, what is happening? Yes or no?
Yes, Baba.
Yes.
Clear now? So vritti vyapti, phala vyapti. And so our lower eye is, Anjuma, tell me now, our lower eye is, what it consists of our lower eye?
Body, mind, reflected consciousness, and consciousness.
Yes. Next time, if you make a mistake, whoever makes a mistake, so he will have a negative point. And our higher self is only consciousness. Clear? Don't again beat around the bush and say so many words. These are the precise body, mind, reflected consciousness, consciousness. What is my higher eye? Consciousness only. Okay? Now, where we are. Last time, I think the verse, where is Prasant Baba is missing? 12th verse. 12th verse we are finished, correct?
Yes,
I
Baba.
think 12th verse we are finished. Okay, let's go to the 12th verse. Let's have a look at it. Again, we'll come back. If you don't, you miss the link what we discussed, then you can come back again before we, in the question and answer session. Let me share with you the verse. Deepak Baba, you have to enable screen sharing.
Yes, Baba. 1 minute, Baba. Yes, Baba. You can do, Baba.
Okay. Yukta karma phalam tyakva शान्तिमाप्नोति नैष्ठिकीम् अयुक्तकामकारेण फले सक्तो निबध्यते. So he's saying, so he is comparing here, Lord is comparing two things he is comparing. What is he saying? Yukta karma phalam tyakva santimapnoti nashtikim. That means a person, a yogi. That means he is talking about here a karma yogi in the first line. Yukta, he is unified in the consciousness, or he is identified himself. That means he is established in his true self. Yukta. Yukta means combined. Combined with what? With his higher I. Karma phalam tyaktva. So he has given up his karma phala. Why he is giving up his karma phala? We know that you cannot remain without action. So an individual has necessarily to get engaged in action. That what Lord has said so many times. You cannot live without action. And if you get into actions, that means that it will also bring in the result of those actions, and that accrues to you. Whether it's papam or punyam, whether it's a positive result or negative result, so that accrues to you. But as far as consciousness is concerned, so if I am identified with my lower I have got into the action, I go to the office, so I want my salary. Result, I have to get it. But as far as for my higher I is concerned, so what is happening there? In case of a higher I, what is happening? Can consciousness work? Tell me. Will consciousness able to work? Yes. Anybody? And why consciousness cannot work? If you feel that it
Conscious
cannot,
needs, yeah, it needs something to transact.
Yeah.
Consciousness has to transact. It has to move.
Yeah,
When you
move
do
through our
action, it
body.
has to move. But when consciousness is all pervading, there is no place it is not there. We say it is all pervading. There is no limitation of space. So when it is there, then what will happen? It cannot work. Because if the glass is totally full with water, even if you shake it violently, whatever, then nothing will move inside because there is no space for it. So similarly, when the consciousness is all pervading, there is no space where it is not there. How can it act? So what is happening in Jnani? He is not giving up the action. But what? Because he has now identified himself with the higher I, so he feels that he is not working. So he is akarta. So because he is akarta, so he has no love lust for the karma phala as well. Because I am not done. So what is the result of this action? Doesn't belong to me. So he is able to discard the karma phala. So he is yuktaha. Yukta means he is yukta to his higher self. He has been able to identify himself with his higher self. Karma phalam tyaktva. He has given up his attachment to the result of the action. Then what is happening? Santim apnoti. He is established in Santi. Santi means there is no tension, there is no anxiety about the result because he is not because he feels that he is not doing it, his body is doing. So whatever result comes, they let the body enjoy or suffer. So he has nothing to do with it. So he is in bliss. He is in peace. Then Naistikim means he is established in what? Ever lasted forever, he is established in his true self. So whenever we say I, always it comes to our body mind. I need my son, I need this, I have to comb my hair, I have to do this, I have to do this, because our focus is on body. Our identification is in the body. But similarly, when for a realized person, his identity he has shifted from this lower I to higher I. So in higher I, when he is established, then what is happening? Whatever actions are he has to perform because he has a physical body. So he feels it is his physical body which is doing. He has nothing to do with it. So he is able to remain in peace, remain in bliss, and he is Nashtiki means forever he is established in his yukta, in his higher self. So this is the first line of the verse 12. But in the second line, he's saying ayukta. What happens to the person who is not, I has not been able to identify himself with the higher I? Ayukta, what is doing? Kama karena phale sakto nivadhyate. He is sakta. Sakta means he is firmly attached. Attached with what? Kama karena. Kama means the cause of action. That means the action itself. And phale also. Because he feels he is doing the work, he also wants the result. So kama karena phale saktaha. A ayukta person, a person who is not established in his higher self, he is saktaha. Sakta means he is firmly established. He is attached. Attached to what? Kama karena. The desire impelled actions. Whatever the karma he is doing for fulfilling his desires. So these actions he is attached, and phale also, the result of those actions also he is attached. And that's why he is saying nivadhyate. He is firmly entangled, firmly bound with karma and karma phala. So that means what the Lord is saying, that you will be yuktaha, vritti nirodha and swarupe avasthanam. If you want to have that state, so what you will have to be, you have to be identified yourself with your higher self, yuktaha. then Naisthikam all the time. It's not like now when we are listening to this Bhagavad Gita, we are discussing, okay, I am my higher self. But the moment I go, after the class is over, I want my filtered coffee, immediately identification goes with the body. I'm feeling cold, I'm feeling hot, I want this, I want this. So all this now, our center, where focus is on the body mind. He's saying, no, stick him. All the time you should shift your identity, what? To your higher self. Then if you do that, then you will live in peace, in bliss, and you will not be attracted by karma phala, neither karma nor karma phala. But if you are a ayukta, if you are not a yogi, you are not a karma yogi, you are not a jnana yogi, then what will happen? You are bound. Bound with what? Bound to kama karena phale. So for the desire driven actions and the result of these actions, you are bound. So this is what happens. Now let's go to the verse 13. So this is what? Verse 12. Verse 13. Sarva karmani manasa sanyasyaste sukham vasi navadvare pure dehi naiva kurban kharayan. So he is saying the embodied beings who are self-controlled and detached reside happily in the city of 9 gates, free from thoughts that they are the doer or the cause of anything. So what is now Lord is again talking about here again in the 13th verse, what he's talking about? Again, he's talking about a karma yogi. So what is he saying? That the various, he has now discussed the sadhanas up to the 12th verse itself. Now from the 13th verse till 21st verse, Lord is talking about the Jnana Yoga, the next step. So up to from 8th verse to 12th, he was talking about both the sadhanas, karma and jnana. He was comparing, he was talking about what is the difference that you have to both do that. So that was from 8 to 12. Now what has happened from the 13th to 21st verse, the Lord is only talking about the jnana yoga. Now, so here he is saying that what is Jnana Yoga is using Sarva Karmani Manasa, Sannyasasti, Sarva Karmani. All the activities which as he is getting engaged in, Sannyasasti, that means he is giving up ownership of those actions. How? He is not giving up the actions itself, but he is only giving up this identification with the actions in manasa, in the mind only. So he is not tucking away his responsibility, running into Himalayas to meditate in the cave. So he is as much, he can be a grihastha, he can be a sannyasi, in and through his grihastha ashram, in and through his sannyasa ashram, he is engaged in action. He's not giving up his identification with the action. He's not. But what he is doing, he has shifted his identification from BMI to Atman, to awareness, the consciousness, Brahman. So that's why now he feels that Sukham Basi, he is established in Sukham, means his bliss, in peace, in bliss, because all the anxieties, anxiousness attached with the karma and karma phala has deserted him. Why? Because he is no more interested in the result of the action, because he is not also attached to the action itself. Because when we seek something, when we desire something, it propels us to get into actions to fulfill our desire. So that's why Adi Sankara says, Ajnana Kama Karma. Ajnana. Once we do not know who we really are, we feel we are a limited individual, then then it leads to kama, desire. I want this, I want that, because we want to get fulfilled. Because our nature is all pervading, eternal. And when we are identifying with the small individual like little Ajay Naik, then what happens? Because you are now a sick child. Like, to remain healthy is your nature. So when you are running temperature, you go to a doctor and take a medicine, paracetamol or something, to get rid of your temperature. Why? Because to remain healthy is your intrinsic nature. So when you are running temperature, you don't like it. You want to get rid of it. Similarly, if my nature is all pervading, eternal, and when I am identifying with my body, mind, intellect, which is limited, naturally it propels it into action, because it feels I need this to fulfill, because that is not my nature. To be a limited person is not in my nature. So I need this, I need that house, I need this position, I need this money, I need this person, relationship, everything I need. Why? I want to get it fulfilled, because your nature is all pervading. How you can stay as a limited person? That's why we had seen, when you are a dreamer, as a dreamer, you have created the dream world. But in the same dream world, when you become a dream character, as long as I am the dreamer, I have created the dream world, I'm happy. The dreamer is happy with the dream world. The moment you, the dreamer, make yourself a character in that dream, walking in the MG road in Bangalore, and the pollution troubles you, the blowing of horn is troubling you, and a car comes and hits you. Now you are started suffering. So the moment that means what has happened? As a dreamer, he has created the whole dream world, and he's happy with it. So, but the moment he makes himself as a dream character inside the dream world, then his suffering starts big. Because as a dreamer, he is expansive. The whole world he is immanent, and he is transcending that creation also. But when he making himself as a small character inside the dream world, he starts suffering. So similarly, when the whole creation is you, and when you identify yourself with this small little piddly little body and mind and intellect, then what will happen? You will suffer. But the moment you get rid of your attachment to the smaller I and identify as the higher I, then what will happen? Sukham Basi. You will be established in peace and bliss. Then where he is there, his body is remain. Though he is now established himself in the Brahman, identified himself with the higher I, but Navadvare Pure Dehi, as far as his transaction in this world is concerned, he is in a body, Navadvare, that means 9 doors are there. How many 9 doors are there? We have the 7 doors in our face itself. You have 2 eyes, 2 ears, 2 nose, and a mouth. How many?
7.
7. Then 2
Two
down. Excretion, both are 2 excretions are there. One is P, another excretion. So 2 are there. So 2 are to get rid of things, and 7 are to get in. But out of these 7, 1 is it takes in and also it takes out. Which is that?
Mouth.
Mouth, correct. Because when you are speaking, you are talking out, and when you are eating, you are taking it in. When you are speaking, you are from inside to outside it is going. So Navadvare Pure Dehi. So he is established where he is. When he is a worker, he is in that Navadvara Dehi. Naiva kurban kamayam. Na eva, though he is inside this body of 9 doors, na eva, he doesn't think kurban karayan. Neither he is doing anything. Karayan means nor he is making somebody else do it for him. So that means he is not interested in karma and karma phalas also, because everything belongs to him. What we will try to achieve? There's nothing to be achieved. Because, and also nothing gets attached to you also. Just see, just imagine. See for ourselves. How many houses we have stayed from our childhood till now? How many friends have come and gone? Parents have come and gone. Experiences come and gone. The positions have come and gone. Everything comes and goes. We are attached to nothing. Nothing. How many parents also we have? Imagine. How many lives, how many parents have come and gone? How many spouses have come and gone? How many children must have come and gone? Nothing is attached to us. When we go to deep sleep, that also everything is gone. The attachment which a mother feels for the child is so strong. Especially for a newborn child, the mother is 24 hours, he or she is attached to the child. But when she goes into deep sleep, which is difficult for a mother, but even when she is going into deep sleep, where is the child? So nothing is attached to us. Now, forget about, when we get Nirvikapa Samadhi or don't think about that. Even now also, nothing is attached to us. So many bodies have come and gone. So many minds must have come and gone. So when you shift your identity from the smaller I to the higher I, then what will happen? So that's what the Lord is talking about here in the 13th chapter, 13th verse. He is Sukhambasi. Even though he is staying in the Navadvara Pure Dehi, he is staying in this house or with 9 doors, but he is not engaged in action, nor he is trying to get actions done by somebody else. Sometimes you do not do, but you allow somebody else to do it for you. So that also he doesn't, because he doesn't need to do anything. So this is the state of a jnani. That's what he is saying. Sarva karmani manasa. So sannyasasti. So sannyasa. So he feels non-attached to the actions. Sarva karmani. All the actions. That means action here also meaning thought and words and action. 3 things. Because action is preceded by thought. Sometimes it comes into words, then into action. And he's saying he has taken sannyas. That means he is not attached to the renounce. He has renounced his attachment to all the actions, doership of the actions. And how he has done it? By mind. In the mind itself, he has done it. Even though in body is engaged in action, he feels that he is not doing it. Sattva karmani manasya sannyasasti sukhambasi. He is established in peace and because anxiety is gone. The moment your action is not there, that means there is no desire. Because your higher self is everything is you. So what you need to? Where you put your hand, it is you only. So what you need to accomplish? Nothing. So suddenly, from a wanting self, you have become, like a trillionaire. Suddenly. So that is the state of a realized person. If you remember, when Alexander came to India, he wanted to see, first thing he said, I want to see a sannyasi. show me a sannyasi, because he has heard so many good things about. So they brought him a sannyasi. In the river bank, they seen the river, so sannyasi was sitting. So this Alexander comes. He said, do you know who I am? He said, I don't know. He said, I am like God. Everything belongs to me. So tell me what you want. I can give it to you. He said, can you just move a little? I can get sun on my body. So this is the desire of a realized person. But there is no attachment. He's saying, I will give you the whole world. He's saying, you forget about the world. You just move a little. I want this sun ray to fall on my body. So this is what a realized person, a person established in Karma Yoga will happen. Oh, 15th. Oh, I have not even made a year of the 14th verse. Sorry. How it will go? Okay, so 13th, so 14th verse we will take in the next. Okay. 14th verse we will take in the next class. So now, consumer, tell me. So who we are? Lower eye. For anybody? Lower eye.
Baba, lower eye is body, mind, reflected consciousness, and consciousness. And
Yes.
higher eye is just consciousness.
Consciousness only. Yeah, just remember this. And then when you see or interact or perceive something, you have vritti vyapti and phala vyapti. Vritti vyapti, phala vyapti. But when you get to realization, only vritti vyapti, then phala vyapti is not there, because you don't need another reflected light to see the sun. You don't need reflected consciousness to perceive consciousness. You just turn your face around.
Baba,
Yes.
just to drive the point home,
Yeah.
we are not the pot. We are not the clay in the pot.
You are the clay. You are the clay.
Clay? No, but what if there is water? Because now there are so many things. There's water, there's reflected sun.
Huh.
We are not any of this, we are the sun.
Then when you are taking that, see, example, you have to see where you are taking it. If you are taking clay, pot can be varied, but the common is clay.
Yeah.
So if you are taking clay, then water is there, then sun is there. So if you take that example, that means in that case, the sun is the Brahman, the pot is your body, and the water is your mind. So
The
it is
reflected
reflected.
Ji.
You get it? So it is a reflected consciousness. So each part is a body. Then you have your water is your mind, and the sun is the Brahman, which is reflected there.
Ji, Baba.
Okay. So
That's why I wanted to bring the reflected sun into the water, because I wanted that reflected consciousness.
No. Because when we shift the examples, you must, with example, you have to change our thinking. Yeah. What the person who is speaking, what he is referring now.
The analogy.
Yeah. So this is there. Even there also, this reflected consciousness also, there is a three ways of is looking at it there. Now, if you have time and try to understand this. One is called Pratibimba. This is Pratibimba. Then Abhasa. This is Pratibimba. That means the sun is reflected in each one of us. That full sun you are seeing.
Ji.
Another is Pratibimba. It's reflected in your awareness. So another is, it is like a pot and there is a hole is there. In the pot inside there is a light and there are holes are there. So in each hole you are seeing now the light is coming out. So that means each light rays is like an individual and the Brahman is like light, which is a part of it is going to each one. But when it is being reflected in the water, the entire sun is reflected there. So it can be like Visishtadvaita, it can be. The example is pot in water where the sun is being reflected because the sun there you can see the whole sun. So in Visishtadvaita, each one is separate, but each one is a part of the whole. This is like Visishtadvaita. In case of Advaita, Advaita will not give this example. Advaita will say, Adi Shankara said, is a pot with the holes. So each one is the same sun. Each ray is coming, each ray, falling in somebody, that fellow become aware. So the consciousness is only one. You were seeing in the example how is it slightly difference is there.
Ji, Baba.
Huh.
Baba, Shravana Manana is happening. Nididhyasana. So by Gyan Yoga, if we understand all this, we can attain enlightenment. Or
So
is there a step after Nididhyasana?
So then what is happening in Nididhyasana? Now when we are now discussing, you are understanding it. So the knowledge is coming from where? Knowledge is coming from the scriptures. Knowledge is coming from Guru and the persons who have written this book.
I remember that lesson where you become the experience. It is not.
Because now it is called Paroksha Jnana. That means this knowledge is coming, somebody says, it's not my knowledge. But when I will benefit it, when it becomes aparoksha, that means it becomes direct my knowledge. Why they are not saying pratyaksha? Because if you say pratyaksha, that means it's my direct experience. That means how you will experience. You experience your 5 sense organs. Brahman can never be experienced because he's always the subject, is never the object. So that's why he says aparoksha. Not indirect, but he's not saying direct. He's saying not indirect. That means because that is you only. So how they will explain? They said aparoksha. So that when you realize it, oh, I am this, then he suddenly realizes that is the stage when you have realized who you really are. The beautiful example, now remember this. All of you must remember this one. Show me your faces. Understand this. This is a very important one. 10 friends trying to cross the river. Okay. So they crossed and then came to the other side. Then they said, okay, let's find out whether all of us we have crossed. So one counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He said 10th person is missing. Another said, hey, you don't know how to count it. Let me count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He said it was the 9. So they started crying that we have lost one of us and we have lost. So they were crying. So a person was coming. So he said, why you are crying? No, because Baba, we were 10 of us and we crossed the river. Now we find we are only 9. But that fellow must have counted. He saw, he said 10 are there. He said, okay. He said, no, don't worry. Don't worry. Listen, I will find that 10. I will find that 10%. Then he said, how you found out? No, I said, you count. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then he turned his hand around and he said, Dasamatim Tvam, means you are the 10th person. And then another person said, then he also counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, they were happy. So they have now found out that 10th person is not missing. So they will become happy that they have not. So, and this is exactly what happens in our spiritual sadhana. The first time when we came, then we found is 9. This is ajnana. ignorance. They don't know how to count. Ajnana. From ajnana, what happens? Then comes sorrow, because now they're anxious. They have lost something. They count, they find there are only 9 persons are there. Sorrow comes in. Then the guru comes. Guru says, don't worry. I will make sure that you will not be unhappy. So Guru comes. Now what he is saying? Now he said count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So he found out the 10th is that aporoksha anubhuti. And then what will happen? Your sorrow goes. That 10th person was missing, sorrow goes. Then they are happy that all of us were there. So atyantika dukkha nivritti paramananda prapti. So ajnana leads to suffering. Then Guru comes, whatever knowledge he gives is paroksha. Then these people, when you count yourself, you found out that you are 10 persons are there. So it is aparoksha jnanam. Then what will happen? Atyantika dukha nivritti paramananda prapti. The whole example is our spiritual sadhana and spiritual journey. Okay. So reflect on it, because what is necessary is reflection. Because all the time, if we think about it, then only we will be able to slowly shift. Otherwise, we will be always remain focused on the lower self. And whatever we do, lower self will always be wanting person. This is limited. You cannot. There is no way we can do it. Get fulfillment. Okay, close your eyes. Keep your spine straight. Conscious breathing.